Okay, good day everyone. This is Naganathan here again. Uh, Yesterday we were seeing some things, but I'd like to just recoup whatever we discussed yesterday. We were discussed some knowledge resource on working on ASCII, HTML editor before that, and browsers. We saw HTML in browsers, viewing HTML in browsers, server versus client. I think I explained this to you last class. Sorry for the some disturbances that's coming out. This is it's coming from outside. I couldn't help it. Sorry. Just bear with me for that. What is a web address, which we discussed yesterday? A brief note on parsers and compilers. This is what I think I'll have to start from today. Okay. So, what is a parser? Let's look into what is a parser. Parsing is a process of verifying a file word by word, character by character, and understanding. A parser is something like, to put it very simply, if you go for a movie, what happens is you buy a ticket and then you go to the counter, get the ticket, and then while entering the auditorium, there is a person standing outside. He takes a ticket from you, checks the ticket whether it is correct or not for the right show, and then he gives you the counterfoil, correct? Then only you can enter the theater. Otherwise, if there is any discrepancy, what he does is he just will not let you go inside the theater. Okay, parsing is something similar to that. I am trying to explain to you in a very simple way so that you understand. There is more to it than what I really say here, but for your purpose, I think this should be good enough for now. So we are creating so many HTML files, and internet is flooded with HTML files. So these HTML files are all has to be parsed by the browser. Then only it can render it. What is rendering? Rendering is converting a certain file into a readable format. You would have worked on Photoshop. There, render means what? Photoshop reads the pixel by pixel and renders the whole thing on your monitor. It renders a certain color. It renders a certain graphic on the screen. Similarly, all these HTML files have to be rendered, or we wouldn't call it rendering here, we call it parsing, because the application, the browser here, reads the HTML word by word, character by character, and displays it suitably on the screen through the browser. Okay, now I'll show you an example of how this is done. Okay, now let me open my file. So this is a sample file. I'm just opening it on a browser. See, I've just reduced the size for you. So this is a HTML file, sample file, which we saw yesterday, the unit1.html file. It's a practice. For practice I have done this file. If I open this file on the browser, it displays like this. But what is in the back end? Let us get to the source of this file and find out what exactly is behind. I'm going to right click. I'm right clicking it. Hope you are able to see. And I'm choosing the view page source. So this is the source file, source of the file which has been displayed in this manner. This is the source, this is the output. Okay, so in the source, what happens here is there is a command !doc_type HTML. The moment the browser opens the HTML file, it reads the first line exclamation, which is known as a declaration line, and understands what is a doc type, which is written here as HTML. This line is mandatory for all HTML file of 5.0 version. The latest version is 5.0. In olden days, we used to have many codings, but now they have reduced to just a line, exclamation, doc type HTML. Just one line is necessary. This line is absolutely necessary for the browser to understand that this file is a HTML file. Okay, once it is understood, what it does is, next line, it reads HTML. So it understands the following codes are all of HTML, and the delimiter here is open and close, less than sign, greater than sign, and within this HTML that comes. So this, the moment the browser encounters a less than sign, it reads, it understands the characters that are coming inside as codes, and then it waits for the closing. So this is the understanding of the browser's program, browser app. And HTML, head, and within head, title. And this is the content of the title. This is the opening, this is the opening, this is the closing. So parsing is nothing but, you will get to know more about all these tags in the later lessons. For now, I just want to tell you what parsing is. Parsing is nothing but reading of the browser HTML file by the browser character by character, so that it can display in a certain fashion, and these are all done by the internal programming. So a picture has come, and these are all dummy text which I have put. So the source of this file is this. The same HTML file, I'll try to open it in Notepad++ as I did yesterday. This is also the same. This is also the same. There is no difference between this and this. Okay. So in the browser, you don't need to open the source. You can open the source file in the Notepad, so that you can save the file and then verify in the browser whether the output is coming or not. So the parsing is done. Every line, every character is being parsed, and then it is compiled into a certain output. And here the output is here across the browser. It understands the commands and displays the HTML file. So this is the way it happens in the internet. And for now, you understand parsing is nothing but the browser reading the lines of the codes line by line with a certain understanding and certain commands and codes. These are all built into the browser app, so that the parsing will be done internally. We are not doing a manual parsing. Automatically it will be done internally. Okay. Now, what is a compiler? Compiler is nothing but, when you go to InDesign file, you open and you take a PDF file, right? Create a PDF. You must be aware of InDesign files. So what happens there is, it compiles all the fonts, necessary fonts, and everything. I'll just open a small file for you. This is just a sample file which I did for you sometime back, and this file is an InDesign file. Okay, this file, once I complete the job, what I do is I take a printout. Okay, I go to file, I'll say print, or export to PDF. That's more easier, right? Export. When I am exporting to PDF, what happens here is, it understands the components of the file. So it compiles all the required components. PDF interactive. Say I'll say PDF print. I'll put, okay, PDF for print. I'm just saving a name, giving a dummy name here. Let me just go to the I'll put a sample so that I can delete it. So I am encountering a certain commands here. These are the commands I am giving. So the fonts, I am giving the bleed, I am compressing output, and fonts, links, all the links are all there. And this apart from this, the output is being managed by certain commands. And if you see the summary, if you can see the summary here, see, you can see the output, security, everything is compiled. the whole file of the InDesign source file is compiled and you are getting a PDF out of it. Okay. For now, it is enough just you understand this what a compiler is. A compiler is nothing but something which compiles all the different outputs, different inputs into a one executable file, one executable or one readable file. In this PDF file, it's a PDF compiler is Acrobat Distiller. You must have heard about Distiller. Distiller is one which compiles, is a compiler for all the PS files, PostScript files. We will talk more about it, PostScript and PDF, in a later lesson. And for now, you understand compiler is nothing but something which compiles the various input into a readable output or executable output. For now, that is enough for you for the class, for the subject wise. If you are really interested, we can always discuss in a later session on what a compiler is and how it is done and everything. Okay. For now, this should be good enough for you. Okay. I hope I am not very fast. I'm trying to explain to you as much as simply as possible so that for the purpose of your examination is being met. That's all. Okay. You're always welcome to get to the net and probe further. Now, let's move on to the script. What is a script? Script is something, as I told you, interactivity, and its purpose. And what is its purpose? I'll give you an example of a file which I did for a particular requirement for my site. I'll just show you a file. It's a mathematics job which I did for one of my client. I'm opening this index.html file. Okay, I'm just opening it in browser. Let us see how it looks. See, if you can see this file is done by me. There is a link here. I click here and there is a mathematics here, right? You can see all the mathematics code and all. Now, I did one click here. What happens? I click this link, something changes. This, something else changes. This, something else changes. These are all interactivity. HTML as of now is only for a display. It does not have a capability to interact unless it is supported with a script. Script is nothing but a small program. I'll go to the source file of this HTML file and explain to you where the script sits. Now let us open the same file in the Notepad++. Here you can see here the Notepad. This is a HTML file, doc type, as I told you earlier. There are some scripts here. Script. This script is for mathematics script, and there is I explained to you about the fonts, Google fonts. I have used a Google font here. That link is there. So see, there is a button. See, this Euclid, this one is the place where it comes is this one, this place. So if I click here, this is the button. So this is the button. This is the button. If I click this button, automatically the mathematics comes here. So what happens here is there is an ID here which takes me to 1.1 automatically to this place. Okay. So you will get to know more about it. And what makes this happen is a small program which is sitting at the end of this file. You can see here. Yeah. This is a small script. Script open, script close. This is a tag. And within this script, there is a small program. This is residing at the end of the HTML file. We should not disturb this because this script is the thing which is making the whole of this interactivity work. Okay, I'll show you one more example within this. See, you can see here some problems, practice problems. So somebody clicks here, something opens up, right? It is meant for the students to practice the problem and see the result for themselves. This is what is the concept of this. How this happens, I am just doing a click here and it something opens. Click, something opens, click, closes. So this is an interactivity, right? So what makes this happen is another script which is residing here, accordion script. See, there is a script function, this small script. So this is the script which makes this actually happen. Okay, so for now you understand a script is a small program which is residing inside my HTML file and then makes an interactivity function as I want it to. And then there are different varieties of scripts. Some are freely available, some are at cost, and many are freely available. You can explore the script, and then it is easily available across the net, and we can make use of that. How to embed a script in a HTML file is a different game. I just want to, in this class, I just want to explain to you what is a script and its purpose. And I don't think you have the syllabus of incorporating a script into this. I just want you to know this, because so that you should be aware that HTML can become a dynamic whenever you want it to, by adding a small program. It is not a program, it's a script in solvanga. Script is a small function which will help in doing some certain interactivity. Okay, so we will talk about it later, and if you have any questions, please feel free to talk to me over my you must be having my phone, or you just send a mail to me. Okay, and I'll just show you the mail ID. You can just questions and feedback, please send it to aksharam.courses@gmail.com. Okay, I'll be too happy to revert you with answers, and even if I don't know, I'll just refer to my notes, or I can get to the web and then try to resolve the problem. For now, for the examination purposes, I think should not go very deep into the subject, because that may not serve your purpose. You may not have the time to go digest the entire thing, because it's a big job, it's a big thing, and knowledge is always there, and it is, even now I am learning many things in the web. New things come every day, so it's like it's more dynamic than what we think. So it's good to get updated always. Get into the web and then see for yourself. For now, for the examination purpose, I think this should suffice your requirement. Okay, thank you. See you, and see you in the next class. In the next class onwards, I'll try to open up. I'm not very sure what I have to in mind. Just go to my website or the presentation. I think that's it. And I just wanted to start off with the Unit 3 first. Unit 1 and 2 I will not be taking now. Unit 3 I will be starting now, and we will look into the introduction about HTML, meaning for HTML, definition of tag and tag syntax. Okay, I hope it will be interesting for you as much as it is for me as well. So thanks, bye bye.